0, 1, 2, 3. Let's get started.
Hi all, and welcome back to another episode of The Video Shop. This is episode 3 for the 21st of May 2024. On this evening's episode, I wanted to give you a bit of a deep dive into my Sam Raimi collection. Now, a lot of people know Sam Raimi mainly for his Spider-Man films. So you're talking the Spider-Man trilogy from the early 2000s. Obviously, some of the biggest films of their times. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the VHS here, but rest assured, I definitely have the Spider-Man VHSs. They're in a complete different section. I actually need to bring some of them over to the Sam Raimi collection. They definitely deserve to be in here. Now, I remember Sam Raimi for Army of Darkness. Now, that's how I got introduced to Sam Raimi, was through Army of Darkness. I remember my cousin coming to school one day and telling me how he'd watched this late night horror film, and it just sounded absolute crazy, and I couldn't wait to watch it. So I went down to the video shop that weekend, and that's where I started my exploration of Raimi films. So basically I watched Army of Darkness first. From there, I remember seeing this as a child. This haunted me my entire childhood. Even though I never watched it, I knew it existed, purely because of that skeleton face and those eyes watching me as I walked through the horror section of my video shop. As you can see here, I've got quite a few copies of Army of Darkness as well. Not hard to tell that it's one of my favourite Raimi films. This is a special edition. It's obviously called Evil Dead 3 Special Edition. The standard ones are just Army of Darkness. They're limited edition as well. These are PAL, so they may not be available elsewhere. PAL being available in the UK and being able to play it in Australia and that as well. So I was very fortunate to get that. That was not easy to get. It was all about timing with that one there. So here's some more of the Army of Darkness varieties, the Screwhead edition. So that's the Blu-ray version. I had to order that in from the States, I believe it was. Drag Me to Hell. I was lucky enough to have the cinema at the time, so I owned a cinema for a brief period of time for 8 years. And during that time, I got to run the Army of Darkness films as well. So Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 3, and I got to do Drag Me to Hell as well. I also have a few collectibles. This here I picked up, must have been 15 years ago now. I dare say they're probably getting quite hard to get as well. When I seen it, I'm like, that is awesome. I've got to have that in my collection. Now, unfortunately, it has aged quite a bit. You can see the discoloration there, but it doesn't concern me too much. I'm just fortunate that I've even got a collectible such as that. I reckon it's pretty cool and will look awesome in a video shop if I ever get around to building one. You can see there's a little bit of information on the back there as well. Feel free to pause the video so you can have a read of that as well. It's always cool to have a read about anything Evil Dead. I do have a couple of books on Evil Dead. I've lent out a couple of books of Evil Dead. I've had a signed copy of Evil Dead. A book by Bruce Campbell actually go AWOL when I had the cinema. I lent it to someone. They never returned it. Thanks heaps. As you can see here, this is the original case of the original Evil Dead. So in Australia, this is how the film was actually released. So these are extremely hard to come by, especially cases such as these and in such good quality. The thing with the Evil Dead films is when people watched them for the first time, I think there was this acute awareness that it was something special. So they're not impossible to get. You can get these on eBay, providing you're willing to pay for them. So that copy of Evil Dead, for example, that's about $450 now. I think I've seen them as high as $600 just for a copy. A Simple Plan, that film was awesome. It was such a cool drama film. And I know what you're thinking, that wasn't the VHS, that was actually the novel. But I do have a copy of A Simple Plan somewhere in my second or third collection. I have multiple collections of VHSs. It drives my wife absolutely nuts. She prefers not to think about it. The Gift, that was such a good film. The acting in that film was superb. Some of the best acting I've seen in any movie ever, full stop. If you ever get a chance, I recommend watching it. It is quite a brutal film to watch though, very hard to watch. in some parts. So that's my collection of Evil Dead VHS DVDs and memorabilia. I just wanted to quickly show you as well that I do have a couple of the original Evil Dead posters, and I thought, back in the day when I had the cinema, it would be a good opportunity to buy up some of this memorabilia. I had to order this in from the States, I believe it was. You couldn't get it locally. That one there is in decent condition. This one, unfortunately, not so much. I had this one stored safely away in my house, and then of course there was a massive storm and a leak got in, and the whole thing was bound in leather, and the leather soaked up the water that managed to find its way into the room. And I opened this poster up and it had been butterflied. I was torn to pieces. This was extremely expensive to buy when I bought it 20 years ago. I couldn't imagine what it costs now to actually replace it. You'd be talking thousands of dollars. I will never throw it out though, of course. It's damaged. It's very sad looking, but that's the way it is. Anyway, that's it for this episode 3 of the video shop. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully seeing this poster in this poor condition hasn't broken your heart too much. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section as well. Let us know what you think of Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi. Hit the thumbs up button, give it a like. We love shaking that like tree. Please subscribe, and until next time, thanks again. Bye.